Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fabric Tech Talk Fridays. I'm your host, Swetha Mannepalli. Today, we have Porsche Cup and Kumulus, who is going to share how they're using Microsoft Fabric for everything that they're doing. Now, with that, Luis, I would love for you to share a little bit about your role, what Porsche Cup Brazil really does for our audience to know.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here and talk with you guys what Porsche Cup is, and for sure to share with you our progress with the implementation of Fabric. So my name is Luis Paulo Baldini. I'm motorsport engineering from Porsche Cup Brazil. I have more than 8 years of experience in motorsport, and this whole time has been dedicated to Porsche. I have started my career into a more technical area, so controlling the revision line, the maintenance of the car, performance, and giving some technical support at the racetrack. Nowadays, I lead the quality department. That's an area into Porsche that we develop special projects, some car developments, and improve some process. And one of these special projects was the implementation of Fabric.
Perfect.
Great. So I'm Renan Veloni. I'm Cumulus Delivery Director. So Cumulus is a Brazilian company, Microsoft partner. We've been working with Microsoft maybe 7 years, working with data, AI, app modernization, and of course, great projects like this one with Porsche.
Perfect. So, what we would love to unveil in this session today is to talk about how Porsche Cup Brazil is using Microsoft Fabric and where partners like Cumulus are really helping them accelerate their journey with Microsoft Fabric. So, with that, can you share a little bit more about what Porsche Cup Brazil does if you take a year in the life of Porsche Cup Brazil? What does it look like in terms of events, the number of races? Would you like to share a little more on that?
Yeah, sure. So Porsche Cup is a one make series that we are a world one make series, and we have almost 10 around the world, and Porsche Cup Brazil is the biggest one. So to contextualize everyone here, we have 10 events per year and 4 races per event. And we don't race only in Brazil. For example, this year we go to Portugal and we run as a support event in 24 hour of Le Mans. So our numbers are so impressive. For example, we have now live broadcasts of our races. So we have more than 1 million of viewers in Sport TV and Bandeirantes, that's Brazilian local TV. We have more than 2 million of impressions in our social media. And on track set, we welcome for more than 2,000 people. So another topic that's very important for us is the sustainability. So we are running with the Porsche Motorsport towards zero carbon emissions at our events. So this is Porsche Cup for you guys. And
That's amazing. So you're not only racing beautifully well, 40 races every year, but also really thinking about the carbon emissions and how to look at the sustainability angle. So wonderful. Now, now we understood what a year looks like for Porsche Cup. What does a race day look like? This is where it gets really real. So what does a race day looks like? I'm not a racer. I don't play a lot of video games, but I'm really excited. So I can imagine the excitement for folks who actually do these things. So talk to us about what a race day looks like.
yeah, so one make series means that we have one team that have the control of all the cars. So we have almost 80 cars that we control the maintenance, the performance. So we equalize it every cars and go to the track to race. So we have a lot of engineers. We have, for example, one engineering per car, and we have an engineering team in the background analyzing all the data. So what we have to do, we need to prepare the car. We need to wait the driver because in the Porsche Cup way of championship, the driver just arrived at the track, entering the car, and goes to the ER session. So we prepare everything before. So that's very good, but we have a problem that we had a problem in the past because the one engineering need to wait the car, come back to the box, download the data, upload it in an Excel worksheet, and after that upload it in a cloud system. Only after that, and we are talking about 30 minutes, something like that, the engineer in the background will receive this first data. Nowadays, with the Fabric, we have one data each 3 seconds. So we improved our system almost 600 times. Because the whole time to receive one data in the past, we are talking about 30 minutes, and now we are talking about 3 seconds for one data.
That's amazing. So, if I can put it into perspective, what a race day really looks like is you have a bunch of cars, they are on the racing track. You collect all these data, telemetry data, live, and you process it and make sure everything is set for that particular day. Things change as the day goes on, but that's where you're leveraging Fabric. So this is great. Now let's move on to Cumulus to understand. We understood what Porsche Cup really does from a racing perspective. Now let's get into the specifics of how Microsoft Fabric is making that race day happen. So you guys are the implementation partners.
Yep.
So you talk to us about what that look like.
All right, guys. We have lots of data coming from the car in every time. So we have on the races more than 4 cars running at the same time, and these cars are providing data, all right? And we have lots of IoT devices installed in this car, and we have Fabric receiving the data, and then we process the data inside the Fabric with RTI, it stores everything inside the one lake, and then we of course show that in a cement model, and to the visualization we use Power BI in real time to grant that the engineers that just watching and monitoring the race will look into the data when the problem is running at the time, right? So they can see if a problem will happen in a proactive way just looking at the graph. Okay.
Perfect. So from a reactive mode, you sort of shifted to a proactive mode with real-time insights using Fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Now, for a company like Porsche Cup, what does that really look like from an implementation perspective in terms of what was the journey like? Is it a phased approach? Did you start somewhere, or you directly know, yes, real-time intelligence or data agents or all the AI capabilities, they're going to solve what we are trying to do with Porsche Cup, or what does that journey look like? Is it phased?
Yeah, this is a very important topic. This is about more about process than about technology or something like that. So every time that you have a very well implemented process with rules well applied, and the technology will come faster, and it will be easy to implement. Of course, you have a process to implement, to understand, and to develop. But if you have a process well oriented, of course, the challenges will be a little bit less than you have a kind of a big process with no rules and so on.
Wonderful. So we have to get our process together before we run after technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. Great point. So I also wanted to call out that with the inspiration of what Porsche Cup did with Microsoft Fabric, we actually had a racing simulator right at our FabCon and Ignite events in the past. There's a video on Microsoft Fabric YouTube channel. If you haven't seen already, this is something that we basically got a car racing simulator. If as you do the racing, you can start seeing the Power BI dashboards light up in real life. So what they're saying is not magic. It is something that we were able to emulate here at one of our conferences. So thank you so much for the inspiration there.
Yeah, thanks.
So I want to shift gears from technology, because up until now we talked about how Microsoft Fabric was implemented and what are the things that you leverage. Before we get into some of the details about how AI helped some of the decision making, I want to talk about what business impact that you really achieved by moving to Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah, now we can save the engines, we can save the car, for example, because as we are looking for the data, we can recommend by radio to the driver to stop the car at the track. For example, if you don't have the data, we're just trying to find out what's happening with the car. Now we have the data, one data is 3 seconds. So we can see if you have some different parameter, for example, the water temperature or oil press, and you can by radio recommend to the driver to stop the car to save the engine, or come to the box and stop right now. Of course, the last decision is taken by the driver because he's inside of the car, but you can look at to the data and say, hey, do it because you need to save the engine. So for us, it's so important to see the data and take a decision based on something that we are looking for.
That is amazing. Now, how does that turn into ROI for you in terms of cost savings, or talk to us about the dollars here.
I don't have the number, but of course it's helping us to save the engine and to save some costs of maintenance. And
Perfect.
another cost advantage is that we use the fabric, we increase the capacity of the fabric when we are in the race weekend. Because of course the race weekend we are receiving a lot of the data, and we decrease the capacity of the fabric when we are not in the race weekends.
You're
So for
scaling
us,
up.
yeah, for us it's a cost advantage.
Perfect, perfect. That's amazing. Now, let's talk about data agents. How did you? What was the use case for you to leverage data agents within Fabric?
Perfect. So this is about how we evolved from a typical analytics environment to using AI with Microsoft
Perfect.
Fabric, right? So at this time, we're moving from data analytics, or let me say dashboards, to speak to your data. And when you do it, you are able to not only just look at the graph and try to interpret that graph, but you can type your data in the AI agent can look at that for you and predict something, or identify anomalies. And even if the person that is operating is not paying attention, or have no experience is doing that at the time, So with this, we can have insights, not only just data in 3 seconds, but we can provide insight in every 12 seconds.
Wonderful.
So in these insights, you can reduce the timing of navigation in the dashboards. So you don't need to go and click and filter. You just need to type in natural language. You're going to speak with the chatbot, and the chatbot will answer based on the real-time data that is coming.
So, what is next? Let's talk about what is next, because we talked about Fabric. Fabric IQ could probably be next big step after data agents. Do you have any future of using Foundry IQ? So talk to me about what's next for you from an implementation perspective, and what's next for you from a business or impact perspective.
All right, here we have a project that is already done. So that was the third project in the Porsche's journey, AI journey. So this is a crash analysis. So this project is mixing kind of computer vision, AI agents with Gen AI, and integrations with a lot of other services in Azure. All right. So we finalized that. So later we can discuss a little bit more about it. But the next project that we are working with is creating more data agents with Fabric, and joining it with AI Foundry to analyze more that we are going to have a more deep analysis inside that, and we're going to provide to the pilots all of the performance of the driver that is.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That is from a technical perspective.
Yeah, this is the next project.
Wonderful. So, what is next for Porsche Cup Brazil in terms of business impact with all the innovations that probably you heard today during the keynote, or how do you think that's going to change the way you are running your business?
Yeah, we are improving our process. We are taking a decision with some prediction time. We can save the car, save the engines. So can, for example, the crash analysis that Hannah talked about. The past, the mechanical needed to disassemble the car, analyze the damaged part, and take a decision if he will replace the parts or not. Today, the mechanical just take a picture, upload in a platform, and he will see if he needs or not to replace the part. So we are improving our process and saving time.
Yeah, this is about AI for operational excellence, right? So as you can see here, we have the solution running. So right here. So every time that a car crashes, we have the car in the pits, and then you can upload the photo inside the system, and then the AI agents will analyze that and provide a list of parts and a list of service that should be done to repair the car. So for Porsche, it's very important that the car is running in the next day, because all of the races are in the weekend, right?
Yeah.
So if we have a crashes on the Friday, the car needs to be in the race again on Saturday. So
Saturday
we need to-
morning.
yeah, Saturday morning. So we need to have the car ready for the show.
Perfect, perfect. No, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And also thank you, Kumulus, for being the implementation partner for Porsche Cup Brazil. Any questions from the audience?
Hello?
Yeah.
Nice.
Loud and clear.
So I was wondering, any point in time, how many data points you're collecting and about how many sensors that represents across the car. And then third part, about what cost is all of the sensors for the car.
Okay, tell me if I forgot something from our questions. But we have, if I'm not wrong, 11 parameters that we are analyzing each 3 seconds, and we have almost 80 cars. So 80 cars, so 11 parameters, one data each 3 seconds. So we have a lot of data. I cannot say costs to you. I cannot say the numbers, but a lot of data that you are receiving each 3 seconds.
Perfect. So we have one more question, please.
So this is a high stakes environment where if something goes wrong, like the data agent doesn't perform well and says, hey, pull over the car and nothing's wrong, then it could lead to even more costs. So could you tell me a little bit about the refinement process, the curation of the data agent to ensure that it's actually outputting correct information? What was that process like?
Right. This is something very good and very interesting because we need to, as I said in the beginning, we need to have a very set it up process, right? But we started with a refinement and a very good data modeling inside the semantic model. So with this, we created more context engineering and data cataloging, and then we made it prepared for the AI. When we plug the data agent with all of this context and we create a very, very big and very curated prompt engineering process inside the data agent, we can measure that. And of course, we don't have just Fabric data agents running that. We have the data inside the semantic model, and of course, we are making queries so much times that. So we have prompt engineers in guardrails that grant that, for example, mistakes not be committed, right? And finally, we have human in the loop. So the human in the end is look at that data, and the human will make the decision. And as he said, the pilot have the final decision. So the engineer team will call, oh, we may have a problem in your car, and then they say, oh, I don't want to stop, I want to consider. So this is their deal.
Thank you so much for your time and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you found this video valuable, don't forget, hit that like button.
If this is your first time visiting the Microsoft Fabric YouTube channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button.
Drop a comment below on what you'd like to see on future episodes of Fabric Tech Talk Fridays.
That's it for today. See you all next Friday for another deep dive into Microsoft Fabric.